And welcome to the next module in the types of support and resistance. And this module is all about channels. So channels is our next type of support and resistance. And there are a couple of things that you should know about channels. First of all, there are three types of channels. You have the horizontal channel, which will be moving horizontally in a parallel line. You then have the ascending channel. So that will look a little bit like this. There's the horizontal one. And then finally, you'll have the descending channel. So the descending channel may look a little bit like this. Now, I've drawn some examples here, and shortly we'll go on to look at some live examples. But before we do that, I want to give you the 3 steps to identify a channel. So these are the 3 key steps you need to use each time. Let's go over each one. The first step is to define the trend. Okay, you must define the trend. You need to know whether you're going to be drawing a sideways channel or an ascending or a descending channel. And the only way to do that is to know if you're in an uptrend or a downtrend. That's the first step. The second step is to go ahead and draw your first trend line. So your first trend line. So go ahead and draw the trend line. Then finally, what you need to do is draw a parallel line to the trend line. So it's very important because the nature of a channel is 2 parallel lines. You need to draw a parallel line to the trend line which connects either the swing highs or the swing lows, right? So those are the 3 steps. Now I've shown you the theory, let's go on to look at some live examples on the charts. So welcome traders to this live example on what channels look like on the real market. So you can see I've got a chart of the pound against the US dollar up here on the screen at this time. And I'm just going to go over an example channel. So the first one we're going to look at is a horizontal channel. And a horizontal channel, you can see multiple touch points on it just there. You can see on both support and resistance. And that results in a horizontal line across both sides, both support and resistance. So often what you'll see is price action coming into the channel, looking a little bit like this, and then you can see it does hover around, bounce around, and eventually, normally what happens is you get a break of the channel in line with the overall trend. So here you can see we came in to the channel on a downtrend, and we exited to the downside as well, and that's what we expect normally from a channel. And if you want to trade around channels, then that would be the way to do it. We would position most likely an entry order underneath the low of the channel, a stop loss maybe above the high just to be safe, or you can position a stop a little tighter as the channel breaks out. But of course, don't do this individually, combine it with other components so you really understand horizontal channels and can use them with a plethora of other tools. And here you can see on the chart now, this is a chart of Bitcoin on the 1-hour time frame, and you can see how a descending channel has formed here. So of course, to draw the descending channel, what did we drew first? We drew this trend line. First of all, you can see on the trend line multiple touch points. So you've got 3, 4 and 5 touch points just there. Don't forget, I'm not counting the cluster of touch points as multiple points of touch. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we're not doing that. This is all classed as 1 touch point just here. So you can see there you've got at least 5 touch points. Then to draw the descending line channel, all you really need to do is draw a parallel line on the downside and look for the same touches again to the downside. So again here you can see multiple touches occurring on the downside of that channel as well. So you can see both lines have the touches and the price is conforming to being within this range. This is a descending channel. Let's now look at an example of an ascending channel. And here we are looking at an example of coffee, of course, which is a commodity, and this is the 1 hour time frame just here, and you can see a great example of an ascending channel on coffee 1 hour just there. So again, take a look. You know what's interesting about this? It's not really ideal, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. You can see, for example, this touch point, it doesn't come perfectly up to the channel. These ones do, but you won't. It's not normal to find channels that are absolutely perfectly entirely clean. You have to take the concept, and the concept here was, of course, the initial trend line that we drew at the bottom just here. So this is your trend line with your initial set of touches, and then of course the parallel line is the one that we look to draw next. It's not ideal, it's not perfect, and you'll find this in the market, especially in today's market, which is a little bit more volatile and choppier than the markets we had in the last decade. You can see definitely that it isn't as clean. So it's all about finding the concept, which is two parallel lines, and the price conforming to those. And you can see here under these different types of channels we've explored that the price certainly does conform.
We trust you enjoyed our Traders Education Center tech video. To unlock the full tech modules for free, click on the link below and hit the subscribe button. Then go ahead to register with your contact details and create your unique username and password to enjoy the fully unlocked tech modules.